Yeah, I remember as a kid in school, we were taught banking. We were, basic how to create a budget for home, how to manage your checkbook, things like that. How to, I mean, open a bank account. The simplest things. But at least we were taught some of that stuff. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
like they really cover that more. There are kids that
not at
don't
all.
understand. Yeah, they don't know how to write a check anymore.
Yep.
They don't have bank accounts because they don't really understand. It's if I can feel the numbers on my credit card, it's still good, And
Yeah.
yeah, are you finding a lot of that with the women you help that they just don't have a good concept of money and management?
No, they don't. And exactly that. I mean, I think you're definitely probably in the minority to have an education that included that, because it just seems so simplistic that, something like opening a bank account or using a check or, understanding how to pay your bills and the importance of that, or importance of having good credit, basic things like this, which to me are hugely important life skills. We could debate the pros and cons of grammar and, where that can get you in life, which, yes, it has its place too. But, the weight that's put on subjects like that versus, the weight that I don't see any with my kids and their exposure to the education system here on life skills like that. It's just non-existent. And then, from the female perspective as well, what I notice on a regular basis is that stereotypically, going back decades, I'm not so sure it's such a as prominent now, but stereotypically, girls were weak at numbers, but they were good at sewing and cooking and kind of the softer skills. And the boys were good at numbers, even if they weren't. They were trained to be and encouraged to, take roles that were good with numbers. So they were pushed to master it, whether it was their strength or not. Whereas girls were generally, not always, pushed in a different direction because of what the stereotype was at that time. And so I find when I'm working with a lot of women now, they'll regularly say to me, "Oh, I'm not good at numbers. It's just not my strength." And then when we start talking through it, they'll produce like an amazing spreadsheet or start running through the numbers of their own setup with me. And I'm thinking, hang on a second, you are good at numbers. You may have been told that, and you may have a limiting belief that that is so. But from what you're demonstrating to me, I don't believe that that's true. But they have a hang up about it because it's what was instilled with them, and they've carried that through. So some of my work is identifying that. I don't have the skill set to get rid of that if it's a very deeply set belief. But it's about bringing that awareness to them and going, you know what, this is not true, and it's actually disempowering you, and it's something that you need to address. So that's the way